Hi, I'm Erik Linask here in the TMC newsroom. We are in San Jose, California this week, and it's my pleasure to have on our show Joe Seibel. He's the CFO and VP of Strategic Development at Hexagrid. Joe, thanks for joining me. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So, start off telling us a little bit about the latest. What's going on? What's the latest from Hexagrid?
The latest is really kind of exciting. We're going international, having lots of success in the Asia Pac area, in the European EMEA area. We see a lot of the telecom providers throughout the world are really starting to adapt and see our solution for its worth as the enabling their business and giving them the margins that they require to compete with the likes of the larger public clouds such as Amazon.
Mm-hmm. So I gather from what you're saying, the cloud movement, if you will, that's been on the subject of so much media attention, certainly in North America, is moving over into the rest of the world as well.
Sure. Yeah, it's quite different in the international space because there's not as much legacy hardware to deal with. So they're actually making much quicker decisions over there. They're jumping into the technology and kind of embracing it as a whole. I kind of relate it to the days of broadband where the United States started and brought out the pipes, and they're about 1 megabit per second. And then when the technology really matured, the international world really started picking it up and buying it, and then back home they're still dealing with legacy issues.
Why is this a good time for Hexagrid to be moving into the international markets?
It's exactly that. It's these companies are looking for ways to compete with the Amazon EC2s of the world in the rack spaces, and due to data privacy laws in the international markets, having their own cloud that they can deliver to their local market is something that really resonates within the market, and they're picking up a lot of traction.
So that's a question that I think has sort of been on the top of mind for a lot of people is really, what's the difference between this thing called public cloud and this thing called private cloud? Is that a question internationally as well?
Sure. It's, public cloud is when you have several organizations that don't have any affiliation with each other running on the same physical hardware, whereas a private cloud is you get all of the redundancies and failover and business efficiencies, but it's your own hardware. It's only your organization's data, so it really solves some of the security issues and the privacy issues that you're seeing.
Is there a tendency one way or the other in the enterprise space to move towards public or private?
It really depends on the workload. If it's a less proprietary workload, maybe it's a marketing campaign, they really have no problems putting it up in some type of public cloud. However, if it's real customer data, transactionary data, and so forth, they want to keep that in-house, and so they'll put that in something like a private hosted cloud or a private cloud.
Is there any benefit that private cloud providers derived from the Amazon outage recently?
Yeah, there's been we've heard a lot of exodus from the Amazon point of view, because there is no 1-800-Amazon where I can call up and figure out what's happening. And if you look at the channel and how it's traditionally been developed, it's all about the trusted relationships. And so, while they were experimenting with this Wild West that was Amazon, they're now venturing back to that trusted relationship and going to those guys, because if something goes wrong, they want someone to be accountable.
So that accountability aside, how do you prevent that kind of an outage in a private cloud?
You're going to have outages. Sometimes they're just unavoidable. But you just try to do the best practices and watch the way and put yourself in some redundant hardware, redundant bandwidth, redundant power, and hopefully playing for the best. I would say there's no foolproof answer to outages.
What kind of things does Hexagrid do to help in that situation?
It's really putting the redundancy in the system, so if you were to lose physical hardware, 1 box or 2 boxes or 3 boxes, the system still remains. So in Amazon's situation, it had to do with just running out of storage and rapid replication of storage and locking out all the storage boxes. So we kind of keep those as separate entities. If one were to go down, it's not going to take down the entire cloud how it would in an Amazon situation.
Is that a question that you are asked, that Hexagrid gets asked a lot? Well, so this happened, the Amazon cloud went down. How can I ensure that yours doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, right after it did. But now it's more of, you know, there's that thought that if I own it, if I can feel it, I can touch it, it gives them more security, and it's less about how do I prevent this. I just want to know that I can come here and point and there's my cloud.
Excellent. Well, congratulations and good luck as you expand internationally. Joe, it's been a pleasure having you on the program.
Great. Thanks.